a Christian Freemason. I was born a Catholic, baptized in a Catholic church, went to a Catholic primary school, and continued at some point in a Presbyterian school. I am still a Catholic and a Freemason, married to a charismatic. I'm extremely happy to say that the festival lecturer, Ambassador Mrs. Agri Olins, and the first discussant, a revered past Assistant District Grand Master, Watchful Brother Mahama Sedu, have virtually completed the critical analysis of the topic and done justice to the related issues of dispelling the myth and distilling the truth about Freemasonry and religion, which have become an albatross on the necks of Masons, their families, and friends. At the risk of overly repeating what have already been so copiously expressed, I would like to add some more value. But permit me to borrow this fancy adage: a Korina and Kibia, no fenyamde ankokra. To wait, if you sat in a chief's council and could not offer any good advice, then it was better you didn't attend. Dispelling the myth. Brethren, ladies and gentlemen, what is of great concern to Christian Masons and non-Masons alike is the general negative perception that Freemasonry is a secret society shrouded in occultism. This myth has led to broken family relationships, lost jobs, and the separation of Masonic brethren from the very churches and religious institutions that groomed them. Today, several Christian Masons, particularly Catholics and Pentecostals, for fear of excommunication, have either stopped going to church regularly or are unable to openly disclose their Masonic linkage. It cannot be denied that for so many years, Freemasonry has been deliberately selected by the Christian churches as the subject of antagonistic speculation and controversies. The saddest part of all is that many Christians and Christian organizations are continuously brainwashed by their leaders who have read and studied extensively the subject of occultism, and therefore are well pleased to understand and appreciate the essence and nature of the word in the context of metaphysics. Brethren, ladies and gentlemen, I will not dilate on its excellencies. To dispel this myth, allow me to reiterate some of the seemingly convincing arguments which are always put forward in support of the assertion that Freemasonry is the African type of occult. So they say Freemasonry is a secret society. Freemasonry has been falsely described as a secret society with a complex system of rituals and symbols, and that once a member is sworn into it, he can neither cease membership nor divulge any secret, else he will go mad or be killed spiritually. That obviously is false. Any member can leave the order at his own free will and accord without let or hindrance. I would like my non-Mason Christians to be truthful to themselves and ponder over these simple questions regarding secrecy. Which society in a church does not have traditions, practices, beliefs that are not supposed to be divulged to others in the same church who are not members of that society? So is it out of place for Freemasons not to share their peculiar signs and tokens to the general public? Which society in the church holds their meetings amid non-members? Why do churches sometimes shut their doors and bar entrance during sermons? Why is it that Roman Catholic fathers do not sit in the bishop's seat when they conduct mass in the absence of the bishop? If there are adequate answers to these questions, then Freemasonry is not the only organization holding secrets. And the mere fact that it has secrets does not make it an occult group. What the non-Mason needs to learn is that secrecy to a Mason is a virtue that professes patience and humility, to the extent that it places an obligation on our minds to respect the hierarchical nature of life. The other thing is the use of symbols in Masonic rituals as an indication of occultism. That's what they say, because we use symbols. Our Christian brothers and sisters often erroneously associate the use of symbols in our rituals as occultism and esoteric traditions. But Christian churches use symbols as well in the performance of their rituals. The cross and the Eucharist are the two typical examples of Christian symbols and rituals. Rings worn by Masons are said to be occult symbols, whereas those worn by Reverend ministers are regarded as protective godly ornaments. Similarly, marriage ceremonies are performed in the churches with the exchange of rings as a token of love. Oil and incense are used for anointing and consecration. But can these rituals similarly be referred to in the Christian churches as occultic? The third one, the allegation, is that Freemasonry is connected to ancient mystery religions. Some researchers have claimed that Freemasonry has roots in ancient mystery religions, such as Eleusinian mysteries and the cult of Mithras. Others have used Masonic associations with the famous occultists, such as Aleister Crowley and Eliphas Levi, as proof of occult in Freemasonry. Brethren, ladies and gentlemen, it is a fact that ancient social and religious organizations, Christianity included, have some semblance of ancient mysteries and historic antecedents. Christian researchers should therefore conduct proper research on their own historic emergent properties, with reference, for example, to the mention of mystery religions as well as Gnosticism, Hermeticism, among others. Indeed, every religion, Christianity included, has a past which evolved through several conceptions tainted with certain negative ideologies. So it is that Freemasonry too, with its origins in Christian Europe, followed the same lineage and maintained some disciplines of the chivalry orders in the medieval ages, but has not remained static. It has evolved over time. It is also obvious that the history of an important institution like Freemasonry cannot be easily overlooked. But again, no society should be judged by the past, when the whole world is evolving. Brethren, ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to inform you that our understanding of the ancient mysteries rather strengthens our bond of friendship, the sense of relief towards humanity, and the obligation to always remain truthful in our daily lives. Such a noble society, therefore, cannot be described as occultic. Now, distilling the truth. Watchful Festival Master, brethren, ladies and gentlemen, we may ask, what then is the truth about Freemasonry? Probably we should rather ask more specifically whether Freemasonry is a